What is going on, world? What's up, everyone? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new StarCraft 2 video. This one is between two players on the WCS Pro circuit. Spawning here on the bottom right hand corner of Darkness Sanctuary Ellie, playing with the red Terran pieces. He's currently up in this series and wants to keep it rolling in his favor. His name is HeroMarine. And his opponent spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing with the blue Protoss pieces. He's currently down in this series, but certainly not out of it just yet. His name is DnS. So guys and girls, game number 2 in this best of 5 series that was played at the WCS in Austin, and was the round of 16, or one of the round of 16 games that were held at the tournament. And it's a best of 5, as I said. You know, and this is one of the WCS stops, so all these games matter in the grand scheme of things, and there were moments where it felt like DnS had a much substantial greater army at times than HeroMarine, but he just didn't fully commit, it felt like, in game number 1. So in game number 2, I wonder what DnS is going to do. Very interestingly enough, it looks like this probe is trying to see if there's any kinds of, I think, proxy barracks or something, but nonetheless, it does look like DnS is going to go for that natural nexus early on here. We are also going to see, of course, gateway into the natural nexus, and then the follow-up with the cybernetics core. It does look like HeroMarine has decided to go for that barracks into the orbital command and then the natural command center. It does look like we are going to see a Marine coming out of the barracks, but the follow-up is going to be a factory. So extremely standard on both sides so far. And you know, if you're a player of the likes of DnS, right, you're not one of the, you know, most well-known of players in the WCS pro scene, but still a very good Protoss player, to say the least. Obviously, being on the WCS pro circuit, I mean, you're obviously a very good StarCraft 2 pro gamer. But the question is what do you do if you're down a game to someone like HeroMarine, who's very well known in the StarCraft 2 pro scene? You know, how do you get this series tied and try to move it back in your favor? That's the big question that we're going to be talking about in the narrative of this game number 2. As the Stargate's going to be coming out, we're going to see Adept coming out of the gateway. And it does look like this SCV is best just kind of caught with his pants down on the opposite, side of the map, trying to get a little bit of some scouting information. But it's all good. Nothing too crippling at this point. But we are going to see this Adept is going to start shading, try to maybe get a little some information as far as if there's any units that start, moving across the map here. We are going to see this Adept is already going to be near the front gate of the Terran. It does look like he might lose this unit very, very soon. Oh my, very close. You do not want to just lose these Adepts for free. I'm not sure exactly what DnS is doing, but he is probably going to end up losing this Adept here if he's not careful. And he, just like that, does lose both Adepts. A little bit sloppy play, but we are going to see the Oracle follow-up out of the Stargate. We're also going to see the Warp Gate research coming in. Another Adept is going to go down now. Very interesting. We're going to see the double Cyclone play, which I really like, out of HeroMarine. We're going to see those double Cyclones coming out. And now we see these Hellions are going to start moving across the map. Going to try to get a little bit of some, information if they can, but they are going to be shooed away by that Oracle. So we're going to see 2 more gateways going down as well. Stimpaks being researched. We're also going to see, of course, another command center. So a 3rd command center is being constructed. Warp Gate is going to be finishing up in less than 5 seconds. And, oh, beautiful play there by DnS, getting the kill on one of those Hellions, not allowing him to get that, scouting information. We're going to see a Forge as well as a Twilight Council is going to start most likely going for those +1/+1 ground-based unit upgrades. And then, of course, he's got the Twilight Council as well. So, you know, Stimpak's being researched out of the tech lab, and then we're also going to see those +1 upgrades coming in as well out of the engineering bay. But once again, both players are kind of giving each other a good amount of respect early on. You know, in these early stages of the game, these oracles are going to most likely try to get a little bit of some scouting information. That's exactly what they're able to do. See exactly what HeroMarine is doing at this stage in the game. And Blink is going to be researched. And then +1, of course, is being started. Mass Revelation goes on a lot of these buildings, so he's going to be able to see exactly what's being produced to see what kind of, you know, army composition he's going to be going up against. That is DnS. And so we're seeing a Marine Marauder composition early on. We're also seeing, you know, a couple of Cyclones here and there. We're going to see more and more barracks being added on now. So I'm wondering what HeroMarine has kind of got planned for us as we approach that 6-minute mark in this game. Is he going to go for a little bit of a timing push, or is he just going to kind of sit back and continue to macro up a bigger and bigger force? And while this is all going on, we're seeing 5 more gateways on the opposite side of the map. So DnS looks like he very well might be going for, you know, might want to try to get a little bit aggressive after those +1 upgrades finish up, as well as Blink. I would not be surprised if he started moving out with this army, trying to do a little bit of some damage now that this 3rd command center is now down for HeroMarine. But both players, really, up to this point in this series, we've seen a lot of respect by both players. Both of these guys have really, I mean, if you think about it, they've allowed the other player to kind of go on those 3 bases, you know, not really showing too much aggression at any one, you know, point, at least in the early stages so far of these first couple of games. Looks like HeroMarine, though, is going to be the first to start moving across the map with a couple of these Cyclones as well as Marines and Marauders. And there we go. The Blinks come in, but you got to be very careful. You do not want to lose all these units. Beautiful force fields trapping a bunch of those Marines and Marauders. And just like that, though, does look like some of these units are most definitely going to be chased off. Some of them will die, but only the lucky ones survive. But while this is all going on, there is a run-by, or a drive-by, I should say, with the one of those Hellions, trying to get a couple of kills there. Nothing terribly, you know, no critical amounts of damage were dealt as of yet. But that said, we are going to see a very similar build to what we saw in game number 1 out of DnS. He's going for that robotics facility, but then he's also going for the robotics bay, so I'm assuming we're going to see Colossus once again. And I feel like he may feel slighted, as in game number 1, he felt that, you know, if he would have had a little more time, I think he would have been just fine as far as getting enough Colossus out, because the Colossus in high numbers are absolutely terrifying for ground-based units, which is pretty much all that HeroMarine has at this point. Concussive shells are going to be finishing up in less than 5 seconds. Resonating glaives are going to be finishing up here for DnS, and then infantry armor level 1 will also be finishing for HeroMarine. So, it does look like HeroMarine once again wants to get a little bit aggressive. He doesn't want to allow this army composition from HeroMarine to get too big, as far as if something like the Colossus do happen, he does not want to allow there to be too many that get out on the map. Just like that, though, a couple of really nice force fields there do help get a couple of free kills, and it looks like, for the time being, HeroMarine is forced back. Disruptor switch is going to be coming out, so I actually really like this decision by DnS to go for a little bit of a different build, as far as, or I should say, a different unit composition. Going for the disruptors, those disruptor hits can be absolutely devastating to a Marine Marauder army. But that said, you know, if you start taking out, if you find a way to take out these disruptors, it can be it can turn into a GG scenario very quickly. So it does look like, though, HeroMarine sees that the disruptors are out, and he wants to start moving back home, which is probably the smartest decision, as he's going for those +2 upgrades. He's going to go ahead and he's going to start getting all of course, like the Liberators. He's got the Ghosts out, which I think is a great decision. And now we might see some drops. Oh, yes. I really like this decision a lot by HeroMarine to go for some drops. Try to hit at multiple angles at once. He's just as I thought he was starting to move back home. He is, but he's trying to kind of move a couple of armies out onto the playing field. Just like that, though, you got to be very careful. You do not want to lose a lot of this army here. It does look like HeroMarine is going to try to engage, at least at this point, but while part of his army is fighting the main army, which is here in the middle of the map, there is a big drop that's about to happen. This could do a lot of damage if it is not taken care of quickly. Here we go. It looks like DnS is pretty much occupied in the middle of the map, whereas all these units are going to have free range of this third base location, and the mass recall comes in and is going to be able to deal with it. But wow, a lot of damage was dealt there, and it does look like once again more drops are going to end up happening here. It does look like he's going to try to aim down maybe some tack structures, possibly more so than that, going for more and more of these probes, and that is huge play by HeroMarine. A great decision. It turned out to be an amazing decision, going for, of course, a lot of these units just getting, going for the drop play. And then he's kind of being a little bit indecisive as to if he wants to fully commit here. But just like that, these units are actually doing a little bit of some damage, while the main army is actually over pushing towards the main. Oh my god, these disruptors are going down so quickly right now. This is not good for DnS. You gotta be very careful. Do not want to lose those disruptors. And just like that, HeroMarine is starting to take a nice lead over his opponent. And DnS just got a little bit outplayed there, and I mean, we're approaching that 12-minute mark, right? I mean, this all could change very quickly. Everything, it could really turn the tides of battle if, some really good disruptor hits could really end it for HeroMarine. So DnS has got to be really careful, obviously. We're also going to see concussive shells are going to be researched. Charge is just going to be finishing up, and more of these Liberators are being added into the mix. And here we go. Those liberation zones are going to be great for HeroMarine at this point, so he can kind of slow push his opponent. The Ghosts are out, though. You got Ghosts, you've got, Marines, Marauders, Liberators, Medevacs. This is a pretty scary army for HeroMarine. Oh, and the disruptor hits. Those disruptor hits are so scary. You got to be so careful. And these Liberators are trying to kind of slow push, but here we go. It does look like another Liberator gets a liberation zone near that fourth base location. Just really well played so far by HeroMarine. And here we go. DnS is going to try to jump on this army. He does exactly that. Beautiful play there by DnS, getting a lot of those units, but those liberation zones are going to start doing a little bit of some damage, and it does look like HeroMarine might be overstaying his welcome at this point. Those disruptors are trying to just really push this army back. Beautiful play here by DnS, really pushing this army back, at least at this point. But while this has all been going on, there's another army, or small army, that's trying to do as much damage as possible. Those Stalkers with that blink are trying to get as many kills as possible. Nice kills on some of those Ghosts there. But here we go. These armies are just crazy. Like, HeroMarine is everywhere right now. He's hitting at multiple angles at once. He is bleeding his opponent dry, just slowly but surely. And just like that, those disruptor hits right before they're able to do crippling amounts of damage to that army. They're able to pick up and fly away. Wow. Fifth base right now is about to go down for HeroMarine, so he is absolutely, in really good control at this point. But it does look like DnS, he knows that he's behind, and he has got to get back in this game. And it does look like he's starting to move out. He's going to catch a couple of Liberators a little bit off guard. He's going to start target firing them down, and it looks like just like that, all those Liberators go down. Beautiful play, but at the same time, there are these, constant counterattacks here by HeroMarine, and this is where it gets really interesting, because there's just so much stuff happening all over the map. DnS is slowly but surely crawling his way back into this game, but HeroMarine does drop, and he is able to get a base for his troubles. And just like that, though, the SCVs are pulled off the line. I don't know, this is almost desperation mode. It doesn't seem like it, but just like that, the SCVs are being pulled off the line, almost running to their deaths at this point. But HeroMarine is just doing a lot of damage right now. He's doing so much damage with these run-bys, and that is what is hurting DnS so much right now. So many of these units and probes are just going down. And the Liberators are really the savior of this game for HeroMarine, I feel, because those liberation zones are just really making it difficult for DnS to attack and engage. And just like that, here we go. It looks like a surround is going to try to come in for HeroMarine. He wants to finish this right here and right now. Beautiful force fields kind of splitting this army up, but at the same time, is there enough here right now for HeroMarine to close it out? Once again, these liberation zones are going to do a lot of damage, but I just don't know if they did quite enough. Wow, what an intense game of TvP that we have witnessing right now in this best of 5. Two players really going at it, giving it their absolute all. And all it's going to take is one engagement to just end this game. Beautiful force fields there, not allowing HeroMarine to do much. DnS might be smelling blood right now. He is doing a lot of damage right now to this army composition. SCVs are pulled off the line once again. The question is there going to be enough here for DnS? And I don't know. Here come the reinforcements. But, oh, man, I don't know if I like this. As HeroMarine is able to push DnS back. But, I mean, it just feels like, can HeroMarine just hold on? Because if he's able to hold this, hold the line, he's got another base that's mining, another, Nexus is going down, or that fourth Nexus is being retaken. But HeroMarine is just so much further ahead as far as the economy is concerned. And it does look like, I mean, we're seeing a lot of red that's starting to just trickle down to the middle of the map. HeroMarine very well might try to go for the killing blow here shortly, as he's in a better position right now. It feels like he's just doing, he's in firm control of this game. And man, there is just so many units that are starting to flood in. Marine Marauder Medevac composition, I absolutely love it. Here we go. Those disruptor hits, you got to be careful as you go in, but those medevacs are just absolutely helping out so much. And then hitting at multiple angles at once is doing absolute, just working as a charm for HeroMarine, as he's going to hit from another angle. Once again, you're going to try to get the cancel on this fourth Nexus. Once again, HeroMarine is playing absolutely incredible right now, doing a lot of damage. Oh, a little bit of a miss micro on that disruptor hit, but just like that, HeroMarine takes game number 2 against DnS and is now 1 game away from winning this best of 5 series. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between HeroMarine and DnS. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and I'll see you guys all in game number 3.